Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today with Absinthe Boréale by Maison Crivelli, released in 2019. It's an eau de parfum unisex fragrance under the aromatic fougere category with a bit of a green accord as well. It's also actually one of my personal favorites from the brand. So essentially the fragrance captures the feeling of drinking a shot of icy absinthe under the magnetic movements of the northern lights. The brand have been gaining a lot of popularity lately as of Hibiscus Mahajad and Oud Maracuja. Oud Stallion, which was previously a Harrods exclusive, is now available in Australia as well. So let's get into the note breakdown. This one consists of juniper berries, eucalyptus, mint, lemon, lavender, artemisia, and musk. So good atomizer. And right off the bat, what does it remind me of? Fierce by Abercrombie & Fitch, but with a tiny bit of a twist. So I didn't know if that was just me picking that up, but I did end up going on Fragrantica, and a lot of people do think the same thing as well. But that completely changes in the dry down. You get a ton of that eucalyptus and mint. Obviously by the name Absinthe, you do not get that alcoholic absinthe licoriciness that you kind of think of when you think traditional absinthe. You also get the colder, icier facets from it. The lemon is somewhat minimal. I wouldn't really call it a heavy citrus fragrance, but you have got that lavender there to back it up and add that fougere into the mix. 80% of that opening you get in that initial impression, which lasts for the first 5 to 10 minutes. When it dries down, the juniper berries are what overtake this fragrance. In fact, it's probably the strongest concentration of a juniper-based fragrance that I've smelt. Even though this and Fierce have quite a different note breakdown, that's where the similarities begin to end. When they dry down, they do become quite different. Fierce is more of a semi-aquatic musky scent, whereas this is a bit more drier in contrast. Think cold, dry, icy, very crisp, but not citrusy. It's kind of what I imagine if they were to do like a Fierce elixir or something like that. But unfortunately, as far as performance is concerned, this one is stronger, obviously being eau de parfum concentration. It does use a lot of natural materials, but again, they aren't necessarily beefing up the fragrance to be that super long lasting because it is a fresher fragrance. So after the first hour, you will begin to notice it die down a bit, then the lavender does come out a tiny bit more. Then after about 2 to 3 hours, it becomes a tiny bit of a skin scent, unfortunately. The first hour is all glory, but after that, like most fresh fragrances, doesn't necessarily perform that well. As you can see, I got about 30% left, so I am pretty familiar with this bottle by now. But overall, very clean, easy to wear. If you don't like using a lot of synthetics in your fragrance, the naturals in this are a great substitute. Also makes for a pretty decent blind buy or a gift. To me, it definitely does smell a little more on the masculine side. This would be more of a late teens to 40s, 50s kind of fragrance. I think due to its traditional type of DNA, it kind of defies age as well. But the quality though is brilliant. Once again, it does contain a high concentration of natural ingredients. It smells very luxurious, not like a lot of other fragrances with a very similar DNA, which kind of smell like cleaning products due to that synthetic nature. This smells like the real deal. So it comes in 30ml and 100ml with a pretty reasonable price tag, but I do wish I had a tiny bit more projection and longevity out of this one. Otherwise, the bottle is super simple. You've just got a little sticker on the front with the brand name and the fragrance. Even the packaging itself is very minimalistic, which leaves a tiny bit to the imagination, but then again, this is a brand that prioritizes the quality of ingredients and the juice inside rather than any of the fancy stuff, which a lot of us quite like. But anyway, that's about all I have to say about this one today, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you next week. Thanks again for watching.